Namaste, Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to MMK The Eagle View. Do like, share and subscribe our channel. Do pass it on to your friends through your social media, with your WhatsApp status, in your Facebook, Instagram. Why we need this is because there's a team which was behind collating this data, getting the genuine information, do a fact finding. We do a lot of discussions, in the middle of the night to present you the best possible content, very realistic, no jingoism, a very realistic fact-based content to this channel. So we need your support. So now today we are going to speak about 2024. Many important countries in the world, democratic countries in the world, are heading for elections. So there are only two possibilities in an election. Either the incumbent government comes back to power, or the opposition or a group of opposition parties comes to power. Now let's see which all countries are going into elections now. First of all, India. Second is Bangladesh. Third is Pakistan. So three major countries in Asia are going in for elections. Now, if you look at Southeast Asia, we see Taiwan, which is a hotbed of geopolitics, is heading into an election. And if you come to Middle Asia, we see Ukraine, which is due for its elections. In Europe, UK is heading into an election. Similarly, the greatest power in the world, America, is also heading into an election. Now, let's see what are the possibilities. America, which is the most important election in the world, the Biden-led Democratic government is losing people's popularity, not only within America, domestically, but internationally. They are not able to react in an American way for any geopolitical issue we have seen in the past 4 years. Be it COVID management, then came the Afghanistan exit, unceremonial exit from Afghanistan. Then the various sanctions which was laid against Russia, they couldn't stop Russia from invading Ukraine. And then there was no success seen in the Ukraine-Russia war. Now we have seen the Israel-Hamas conflict. In between there was a lot of friction between China. We saw a Chinese spy balloon entering and taking a free ride way deep inside America, and then it went all the way to Canada. So this great power, the petrodollar deregulation, the world is moving away from dollars, the power of BRICS going up. So it's in a completely, every geopolitical front, the America has been challenged, and they have not been able to provide one concrete win in any of these major geopolitical events. So what's the alternative? So the alternative is the Republican Party. The primary is not yet over. We don't know who's going to come. Is it Vivek Ramaswamy or is it Donald Trump? There is a strong upsurge. This is the first time in the past 4 years where Donald Trump's popularity has exceeded Joe Biden as per the latest result. So now Republicans under Donald Trump, with maybe Vivek Ramaswamy as a vice president, can come to power. Which has got a brighter chance as of now. Our subscribers in US can better appraise us in the comments. We sincerely read each and every one of your comment here. The other way is the Democrats coming back to power again. Now this is going to create a major unrest in US. Because last time we saw the capital city, the hall getting seized. It was literally like a civil war. People were there, and then a lot of people got charged, and a lot of people are facing legal cases. A couple of them have been jailed. Trump himself has been indicted for inciting the violence on Capitol. So this is time, if it is going to fail. Last time it was very clear that the elections were hijacked. The election result was not proper. Trump was not given a fair chance, and the elections were rigged. Now this is a very, very serious charge, because Americans are supposed to be the flag bearers of quote unquote democracy. Now if such a thing happens, if Trump or the Republicans, more to do if Trump wins the primary and becomes a presidential candidate of Republicans, if he fails, then we are going to see a major catastrophe in US. You can take it in writing, this is going to happen, because the scene, the parties involved, everything favors for this kind of thing, and we have clear telltale signs of it. Let's see how the US internal security handles this. Trump comes back to power. He is more pro-Israel than Biden. He is the one who would like to have, distant itself from the NATO countries. He doesn't have a great relation with NATO countries, especially the European Union. So possibly there is a bit of a rip between European Union and Trump, and he would also like to talk to Vladimir Putin and the North Korean superstar Kim Jong. So all these things will happen. You will see a Trumpized America coming in the next 4 years. So he had promised this, all these wars which have been going on will be stopped. So in fact, he is so pro-Israel that once he planned to shift his embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Later it was not done. But I'm saying that this is going to have a clear impact on each and every one of the countries, especially the global powers. We may see the end of Ukraine-Russia war. Definitely he is not going to spend any more money on the green t-shirt guy Zelensky. For sure, it's not going to happen. So we can see Zelensky going out unceremonially and the Ukraine-Russia conflict coming to end finally. With Russia, whatever the bite it has already taken, would like to retain it and end this war. Similarly, Israel-Hamas conflict, we would see Israel getting a solid US backing as far as this conflict is concerned, and we may see a very a kind of a stressful relation between America and Iran. So, and the Abrahamic Accord, U2I2, all these things will come in the forefront. With China, he is going to have a very transactional relationship with China. The rift with China he is going to enhance. He will go on all these trade wars. We will see more of trade wars and more of US military drills happening in South China Sea. So that is going to continue. India-US relationship, definitely it is going to be depending on who is going to be the Indian Prime Minister in 2024. So let's come into the domestic politics. 2024, who will be the Prime Minister of India? Now, there is a very, very strong leader, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is the second time incumbent Prime Minister. He is running for his third term. And there is a I.N.D.I alliance, which is a coalition of, a jugalbandi of all the regional parties across India with a central core called Congress. So we all know with the best of the predictions which has come in through various sources, with a bit of a political knowledge I do have with my friends across the country, it is clearly indicating that BJP under Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to come back to power again. With we really can't predict the seats. It may be 300 plus or 350 plus. We really don't know. But it clearly indicates that he is going to come back to power again with a clear mandate. With a clear mandate, there is no fractured mandate and outside support. This is not going to happen. There is not going to be a NDA coalition-led government. It is going to be a BJP-led NDA government by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Something drastically happens in the next, we are just hardly 5 months away from the election. Something drastically happens, and if it goes to the coalition government, a Congress-led coalition government is formed. We can go back to the era of emergency where all the parties dissolved their own identity, came against then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and fought an election, which is Janata Party. So every party has come in. So that government ran for almost, I think, less than 2 years. Morarji Desai was a very strong leader. He became the Prime Minister, but the government couldn't withstand. In this scenario, if you have a 20 or 25 parties-led coalition government, three things will have a major impact. Firstly, India's foreign policy, India's internal and external security, the defense ministry and the finance ministry. The policy changes, if there is anything so drastically done, it will eventually lead to any change in the current regime and a very unclear opportunistic coalition government. If it forms, India is going to see a clear drop in FDI, a bit of a stock, or a major shock in the stock market, and then the sentiments can go negative at least for a brief period of time, maybe 6 months to 8 months. And our adversaries, especially China, would like to try some adventure in our northern or the eastern front. For sure, this is like the best opportunity for our enemy to go and do something, because it's a complete a coalition government. Each one has its own priorities, each one has its own regional priorities. The core of this coalition government is going to be Congress. If the core itself is weak, say for example UPA 2, Congress was I think 206, and then the 272 was the mandate, majority needed. There are a couple of other allies. That's a different story. But if Congress is 100 or maybe 100 to 150 and such a coalition government forms, this will create a serious impact on country's national security and as well in the economy as well. So we hope so a very stable government forms in. So now moving on to the next country called Bangladesh. Bangladesh, US interference, it's out and open. We have done a video about it, how US is trying to interfere in Bangladesh elections. Sheikh Hasina coming back to power. She is a very very trustable friend with for us, India. She is pro-India. She kinds of balance out China. She know how to deal with China, and she has been brutal in controlling the fundamental radicalism part of in that country. We have seen a very bad terrorist attack which happened. She literally cracked down, and there is this ultra fundamental elements, the fringe groups are kept under control. If she goes off, and if the opposition party government comes in with the support of fundamental radicals, we have listed out all those parties. You can go and see Khalida Zia with somebody else. Now that is going to create a lot of disturbance in our eastern front. States like West Bengal, states which are bordering Bangladesh, we will see a major rift there, and China would want to use this to pull Bangladesh into it. But US is also playing its global politics. US will also try to interfere, and this country from a very stable state, it may become a country of concern as far as India is concerned. Now let's move to Pakistan. We have seen Nawaz Sharif is still not eligible to contest an election, but he is already there. The general election basically means the general elects. It's not the general election what we see here. It is Asim Munir who will decide who will be his next pawn, who will be his next puppy dog, which will be designated with a very good name, with a constitutional authority called Prime Minister. But it's going to be the army and the ISI which is going to take a shot. The call has already been taken. It's going to be Nawaz Sharif. If at all something drastically happens, Nawaz still, army has certain issues with Nawaz as far as his their past experience with Nawaz is concerned. Nawaz also has bad experience as far as General Parvez Musharraf and later on General Bajwa and all this. So this is a complete mess. But because it conducts elections, we call it as a democratic country. India, Pakistan, nothing is going to change. Nawaz Sharif would be a speakable person as far as Prime Minister Modi is concerned, provided army comes on board. There is a strong US pressure to Asim Munir when he visited US, and there is a very very strong pressure on the Pakistani establishment to go and resolve issues with India if they have to get the American aid. The Chinese are not going to give them any more money. It is going to be asset buying. All their national assets, strategic assets are already being bought. In fact, I heard news that they have been trying to sell off parts of Kashmir, occupied Kashmir to them, Pakistan occupied Kashmir to them. So these negotiations are on. So if they want the American money, they have to sit and talk with India, resolve issues, which means leaving their hold as far as the Kashmir is concerned, maybe not to that level of coming into or offering the POK to India in a platter, but it's moving in that direction. So nothing is going to change between India and Pakistan. Now another country which goes into election is UK. It is a schedule for 2025, but Rishi Sunak has ordered that we will kind of put the election in 2024. All likely he may lose, because the government is getting very very unpopular. Conservatives may be back. If they are back, we will see a more regressive, more aggressive policy on immigrants. We have seen how Poland has been doing it. We have seen Italy. We have seen a lot of European countries going clearly against the Arab immigrants. So we will see a very solid friction there. Job cuts, visa cuts for India, So these things are expected as far as UK is concerned. Now coming to Taiwan, which is a very very important election to watch, because the current government, which is which want to be an independent nation, which is completely against China. China has been spending billions. They have employed a huge cyber army. They're using all sort of algorithms, every possible way, propaganda war methods to influence that election, to get the opposition party in power, because he is kind of pro-China. They say, we will speak to China. We are all of same blood. We need to sort it out. We should not have the external powers in play. So that's the power struggle between US and Taiwan, because US has already written a check of, I think, $833 billion as a aid for Indo-Pacific region. US is kind of getting ready. The new government will go aggressively if they follow the same tradition of what has been already done, because when they approve such a huge financial bill, it also has the approval of US Congress, which has got both Republican and Democrats together. US will never change their foreign policy so drastically because of change in governments. So Taiwan is an election to watch out. All likely the ruling party may come in, but we see this 5-6 major elections in the countries would shape up the geopolitics starting 2024 for the next 5 years up to 2029. As far as India is concerned, anything less than 300 on their own, the government will continue the current trend of not going too aggressively, building up consensus, and then not taking so drastic steps. But the moment they have a very strong people's mandate, say for example 350 plus seats, we will see this government going aggressively, blazing guns in terms of economy, in terms of investments, in terms of geopolitical perceptions, in terms of geopolitical strategies, and also in terms of internal and external security. We have a lot of things to be undone. Example, POK, we have given a small piece of island to Sri Lanka. So these things will eventually be solved by the next government which is going to come in India. So let's see how eventful 2024 is. We all pray for peace. We all pray for all the creatures which live in India, which lives in the globe. Let's hope that we have a better 2024. Thank you all. Jai Hind.